Perfect. Well, I'm going to call the meeting to order for the African American Equity Restoration Task Force for today, April 13th. And we will start with our roll call, please. First, if you would handle that for me.
Good evening, everyone. All right. Tanisha Fitzgerald-Baker.
Present.
Stella Bridgman. Dr. Mary Gateau. Brandon Harden.
Present.
Pastor Vincent Jones Jr. Gwen McKenzie.
Here.
Dave Miller.
Here.
Anderson Oles. Deborah Porter.
Here.
Dr. Craig Pickett. Shantae Southwood. We have 5 members currently present.
All right, thank you. So what we will do is table a few things and hopefully some will come in, but we'll move forward with our agenda and postpone anything that's going to require a vote. But I would like to start off turning it over to Dee Dee for our staff report discussing the 3rd grant cycle that we got approved by City Council. So if you would.
So we recently went through and did all of the grant funding for our 3rd cycle. It was for a total of $140,000, which is great, 11 organizations. And I also, after that, met with each of the organizations. We did a group Zoom call so that they can know the expectations and all kinds of things about our current grant cycle. And then that way everybody's on the same page before we start. And now we are in the process of actually dispersing those funds, so they should receive those hopefully soon. And that is great because we were on a good timeline for them to be able to fulfill it by for their summer programming. Secondly, I have put together our 2nd annual grant impact report. It looks like this for you guys. It'll be on our website. Oh yay, we have quorum. Sorry. It'll be on the task force. Here we go. It'll be on the task force website, hopefully very, very soon, and available for all the public to be able to see.
Thank you.
Deb, you have one. And this just highlights our past grant cycle with our organizations and all the wonderful things that they have done. And
This is well done, by the way.
thank you.
Kudos.
Thank you. Does anybody else want to see it? I have extras. Anybody like that wants to see it? But that's all I have.
Are there-
I have something just for the
Sure.
in addition to the staff report. As Ms. Harrison noted, we were able to get $140,000 in grants approved. You all may recall that the committee recommended $150,000 in grants, and that's what this body initially approved. Between you all's approval of that and the item going before council, we did have one organization that contacted us and said that they had some changes to their organization and didn't feel like they could complete the program and asked to withdraw. So we did not have enough time to bring this body back together to make a different selection, and so we went forward with the ones that you all had already approved. And so that's why there's that discrepancy in the $150,000 that you all approved and the $140,000 that we took before council. Remember the name of it? Renaissance Creations.
Any additional questions or comments from the task force?
I have another point for staff report, if I may.
Yeah, I just wanted to also echo Dave's comment in how well done this is and how appreciative we are of being able to establish this track record and also highlighting those in the community who are making efforts and doing good work. So I thank you so much.
The last thing that we have by way of staff report, we want to recognize and acknowledge that this will be the last meeting for 2 members of our committee who have served with us from the very beginning. And so on behalf of the city of Knoxville, on behalf of Mayor Kincannon, we want to present you all publicly these certificates of appreciation for your service. We recognize that this was a brand new work without really a framework or idea of what it was going to be. And the initial members of this task force really worked tirelessly and diligently to build something from scratch, to develop issue areas, to advocate for the continuation of this work. And so we want to present our appreciation through the form of certificates to Ms. Deborah Porter. And Ms. Tanisha.
Looking for that on the agenda. So I could be ready.
Everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
May I come back to meet you?
You all are welcome anytime.
It has truly been a labor of love and commitment and concern and care for our community and really trying to contribute to a better Knoxville for all. And so I have been happy to serve in this position. I appreciate the acknowledgement. Thank you so much. In your celebration of a quorum, we would like to go back, and if you had the opportunity to review the minutes, if there are any questions or modifications for those. If all is good, could we get a motion to approve?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Alright.
All right, so now we will move to our subcommittee reports. And I'm also going to ask Dee to do that, but before we move into a summary of those, there's a section in your packet that has the minutes, has kind of a summary, but I just can't say enough about the great dialogue and thought that the subcommittees are putting into our buckets and our priorities for the community. They've really done great work and put forth a great action plan. We wanted something tangible. And we started off with a really big kind of bucket of things that we'd like to see to move equity forward here, particularly for African Americans in Knoxville, looking at the equity gaps and access and such, and narrowed it down over some very intentional and consistent and committed members of our subcommittees to some tangible action items that we hope will be able to move forward. All of those have a plan, and so that's another thing I'm excited about that was in the vision from the start. So Dee, if you would, just give us kind of a brief overview.
Yes. So the subcommittees have been meeting and we've gotten to the point where now we've taken information about gaps, discussed it, and then we've now created a plan of action of things that each of the committees want to do. Health, big things they wanted to do were access to accurate information, be able to extract real data in order to be able to create real change. Youth engagement and education was a big one. We're learning mental health is a very real topic and big gap that exists in our community for our youth. So that was one of the things that we had been discussing and been able to see if we could come into schools and things like that to be able to help with those situations. Leveraging our existing resources, meaning use our partners such as the Knox County Health Department. Churches have things like that. There are nonprofits that we could work with that would be able to partner with us in order to, again, achieve our purpose. And then we always discuss barriers that actually exist, and of course transportation accessibility was the big things that we have heard from our community of why certain things they can't get or receive, things like that. As far as small business, we spoke about how many small businesses are starting and not able to get the visual appeal out there as they want to, as far as being able to have the skills to be able to really create a long-lasting business. So we were thinking of partnering with them and allowing small businesses to come and meet here, tell them about their businesses with us in these quarterly meetings to at least help derive some awareness for them. Workforce development spoke about needing workforce training and programs, but more so specific skilled programs of that are really in crisis now, which would be our healthcare field and trade skills, which are the two that we need the most focus in. We don't need that last part. But basically, all of our subcommittee came up with those final topics to be able to now go forward and do the actions that we have come up with. So we're hoping by our next meeting, we have updates.
Perfect, thank you so much. We do have guests here today from the City County Planning Comprehensive Plan to share a little bit more about that. Jesse Hillman and Michelle Cloche from Knoxville, Knox County Planning. Did I do that right?
You did. I'm so impressed. No one ever says it right. Yes. Thank you so much for having us and for allowing us to come and share what we do with you all. I'm not sure how many people here know about us, so I'm just going to give a real brief overview of our agency and what we do, and I'm going to turn it over to Jesse, who's going to talk a little bit about the City of Knoxville Comprehensive Plan. So we are embarking on this plan with the city. It's supposed to be a plan that's going to guide policies and decisions for the next 25 years. The process has been named What's Next Knoxville. We are ramping up our website. You can see it up here. It's the What's This All About is active, but it's going to be populated with more information as things become more available. But you can come here. It's what'snextknoxville.com/about if you want to read a little bit, but that'll be up there for you. But anyway, so back to Knoxville, Knox County Planning. Who are we? So we are an independent agency. We're not part of the city or part of the county, but we do work closely with both with certain planning related issues. So there's 3 divisions within our agency. The first one is the Transportation Division, which you all may know as TPO. And they are sort of a regional resource. So they service, I think it's 6 counties and 8 municipalities that they service. So they're not just Knox County and Knoxville. They're funded by federal grant programs. They manage funding for a portion of the metropolitan area. They provide intermodal planning. They work with CAT really closely, help with grants and things like that. The second division is Information Services. They provide a lot of background. You mentioned needing data. We do have a data hub and some tools that may be helpful to you all. We do release a series of reports. Some of those are released annually, and some of those are just kind of one-off things that we're researching. And I did bring some examples where she's standing right now, one on senior populations and one on priority populations, and both of those reports just kind of illustrate those different populations, the people that are struggling with the various issues within those reports, and we map out like where they're located. And that's supposed to help guide policy decisions and things like that, like where these resources are needed, and then they provide lists of resources for those folks as well. They also provide our website support, so when you go to Knoxville, Knox County Planning's website, that's the team who manages that website. They also work with computerized mapping system. It's called GIS. So they work closely with KGIS and getting our maps and things like that. And then the last group that we have is Planning Services, which is probably the group you're most familiar with. That's the group that I oversee, and we help with planning commission cases. If you want to know what you can do with your property or how you get to do something with your property, we can help you with that. We also take cases to the Planning Commission, and we also work with long-range efforts, which is kind of how we tie into the comprehensive plan for the city. With that, I'll turn it over to Jesse to talk a little bit more about the comprehensive plan and how we want you to get involved and share some of that feedback that you talked about.
Thanks for having us. So I'm Jessie Hillman, Principal Planner with Planning. And what is a comprehensive plan? Well, it's a plan and a policy document. It sets out the future vision and priorities for development in the city. And this is about a 25-year timeline, so it's looking forward into 2050. It guides decisions on future land use, transportation, and public investment. A comprehensive plan is a long-term guide that expresses the values, aspirations, the needs, and unique conditions of a community. It establishes an integrated vision for growth and infrastructure investment, and it addresses many related topics that impact the city's quality of life today and in the future. These plans establish policies and concepts that guide future development and how it's evaluated, infrastructure investment, and it informs future land use maps, zoning, and other small area plans and studies. So why do we need a new comprehensive plan? Well, the city is currently guided by the Knox County General Plan, which was adopted in 2003. This plan guides community, comprehensive plans are intended to guide communities for about a 20-year timeline. So since this plan is over 20 years old, it's time to update it to better reflect where we are today and where our community wants to go. There have been changes to the city that were unanticipated by the general plan, such as the influx of people moving to Knoxville and the increase in housing costs as just two of the more overarching examples. The county, Knox County, has since adopted its own comprehensive plan in 2024, so that's for the unincorporated areas in the county. And so an updated plan would provide a more modern framework to address issues in the city and identify future opportunities specific to the city of Knoxville. So how do we do that? So the What's Next Knoxville planning process, and you guys are seeing the website launch as of today, so it's live. This planning process will be guided by input from the community, including individuals who participate in in-person events or provide feedback via this website. Community leaders will also provide information on their community's specific issues, and those who can provide technical guidance will be involved as well. Over the next year, we'll provide numerous opportunities to the public to engage in feedback through open house events that anyone can attend, pop-ups so that we can target people where they're already gathering, and through surveys on our website. So widespread community participation and buy-in is really critical to this plan's success. So to kick off What's Next Knoxville, the city and planning are hosting 7 listening sessions across the city in every city council district to better understand residents' vision for the future of Knoxville. So these outreach events are occurring April 26th through April 30th. There is a flyer that you can take with you that's over on that table that lists all the events out and also provides more information on the website. And there's going to be, the intent is to have it be kind of like a party-like atmosphere. There's going to be fun activities for kids and adults alike. There will be conversation and games and food and excitement because this is a really unique once-in-a-generation opportunity to steer the city's path in a meaningful way. So these listening sessions will not be the only opportunity to provide input. We'll be meeting people where they are. We have just about every upcoming public event that we could find documented, and we're developing our strategy to engage people at block parties, parades, farmers markets, and neighborhood meetings, and we would greatly appreciate this body's help in identifying and prioritizing events and venues where you think we should be present. In the meantime, we hope you'll attend these listening sessions and spread the word that they're happening at the end of this month. I'm happy to answer any questions either of us are.
I just have, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to comment and just say, Jessie, I'm glad to hear about the pop-ups because we know transportation is a barrier for a lot of people in communities, especially communities that have been have a lot of disparities in there, and so I'd be interested to see the list of those pop-up events that you guys have already identified. So we're not double dipping, but we can also help you guys,
Absolutely.
as we hear about some, or maybe create one or two in certain communities. So people do have input and at least have an opportunity and have knowledge about the plan.
I will say too, one of the goals of this first round is to kind of identify leaders within the community that can kind of help us champion this and maybe help facilitate meetings within your own communities. So that's one of the things that you can provide on here. So let us know who your leaders are so that we can get you all involved and have your voice be sort of elevated and heard.
An only question I had was, listening to your discussion around data, data sources, if you partnership at all with Think Tennessee or tap into their.
We don't partner with them, but we do attend like their meetings and things like that. We get our data from the American Community Survey, so
Okay.
yeah.
Anything else from task force members?
Thank you for asking.
I think that's it. All right, so we appreciate your time today, thank you. We want to make sure that everyone gets a flyer and that we start putting some thought to how we can elevate this opportunity so all of our communities are heard and have voice in this process, so. Where we'll go next, official task force business and announcements. Are there, and we'll start with this, if there are any announcements from task force members, community events, activities, things that need to be on the table?
There's an event April 9th, Aviation Day is being sponsored by Ski Next. It's completely free, it'll be held at,
May 9th?
You said April 9th?
no, May 9th, it's a Saturday, May 9th. And the whole idea is to expose you to the opportunities in aviation. And I'll provide a flyer
Is it at Island Home?
at Island Homes Airport. And I'll provide a flyer.
Okay.
And you send it to us.
Any other announcements or communities?
Of course, Juneteenth is right around the corner, and we will definitely have the Memorial March and Parade kicking off from Chilhowie Park, and then the Juneteenth Festival will be at Hardy Park. And I think June 19th is on a Friday, so it'll be a big affair for that Friday. For those that the day is a holiday, but we will have more information, and I'm thinking it's coming out on the website and Facebook as well. So look out for that information and flyers, June 19th, Juneteenth.
Any other announcements? Okay, let's look at some sponsorship requests that we've received recently, and Dee Dee, if you wouldn't mind, what I'd like to do is consider these separately. So if we can just get an overview of each and the amount requested so that we can put it up for vote. Thank you.
So I made y'all an overview, so we can just go through them.
Okay.
Okay, so first up, we have a request from the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Commemorative Commission. We are asking for $5,000 for their Juneteenth Memorial Parade and Festival. We sponsored this last year, and the money will be used for food resources and things like that for the actual parade and festival to be put on.
Is that the amount we did last year? Yes. Okay. I have one question, and this is for all of them, actually. When I think about the size of our grants and the range and the requirements for that, When we do some of the larger amounts, do we have any expectations, around the sponsorships?
Expectations?
As far as
Reporting or?
budget or reporting?
No, not
The
required.
sponsorships are just
Yeah.
sponsorships.
It's not required that we make something, and then most people send something back, and so I have a summary of sponsorships that we've done from, most of the people who we've done them from, but, when you go to the sponsorship, link, the last question is, can I send you, a post report, and you click yes or no type of thing, so
Okay.
that's really it, but it's not necessarily a mandatory thing.
Okay, I'm just curious. All right, so, we'll go ahead and start with this, not to belabor it. Can I get a motion for a $5,000 sponsorship for the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Commemorative Commission Junior Parade and Festival?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. Okay, moving to the next one.
The next one is for Life International Community Impact. It is for a community-centered initiative designed to provide practical financial education, I spelled that wrong, fraud prevention, awareness, and essential resources to support underserved residents. The money would be used for, it's $5,000. The money would be used for event materials, educational resources, workshop supplies, printed materials, resource distribution, event logistics, community outreach and engagement, and events. So it seems like the money would be used for all of the things for the actual event that's included.
So.
They are a new,
They're new.
they're new to us, yes ma'am.
I'm assuming we'd be the primary, if not sole sponsor.
She clicked no as far as soul.
Okay, and then, do you have any idea of the community?
Of like other communities.
No, it says a community-centered initiative, I was just wondering where or who.
Well, the address of the place is Linden Avenue,
Yeah,
so
I can
it's,
see.
So on the
It's on
description, it says, East Knoxville Financial Empowerment and Community Resource Event.
Yes.
So it sounds like it is,
it is in East Knoxville.
it is focused on East Knoxville residents.
Yes, ma'am. And it's a
Target
expected
population.
impact, expected impact is 50 to 100 community members. Target population, African Americans in East Knoxville.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have that same
Oh,
information.
this is from
Yeah, I got you, all right.
But I
Okay,
can give you this.
okay, all right, then that makes more sense.
And if you're familiar
Okay,
with
thank
the group that did the block party on Lincoln for several years, it's the same organization. I think this year they moved the block party to Mechanicsville. But for several years, they would do an East Knoxville block party, and block off Linden Avenue. And it's the same group that.
All right. Yeah, I'm not opposed, I was just trying to get information, but I do like the financial literacy and fraud prevention. That's pretty prevalent in our communities right now, so.
Under the targeted population, it says African American residents in East Knoxville,
Yes.
seniors vulnerable to financial exploitation and other forms of senior abuse.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Have they applied before?
Not for sponsorship, no, ma'am.
Motion? Second?
Hey, perfection.
Do we have a second?
Oh, say
Oh,
that.
second.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right.
Formality. Okay, the third one is from Call. It is for their annual Shoes for School event. This money, the $5,000, they requested, the event is August 8th of this year. The money would go directly towards the support of purchasing school supplies, and $5,000, based on their amount they get from the wholesaler, would be 140 pairs of shoes for kids. So that's what this one's.
And you may wanna know that there's an additional one.
Yes,
Go ahead
so.
and note that.
And next you will see right underneath them, there's also a second 5 for them, for something separate, but they did submit 2 of them.
Also, so I serve on the Urban League Board, do I need to recuse myself? Okay.
Likewise, I'm on the board as well.
Okay, so we will have to, table that sponsorship, but we will meet in July, so,
We take a vote by email, or is that?
Unfortunately, we can't do that with
Yeah.
sunshine
Yeah.
laws,
Gotcha.
so, it'll be cutting it.
That would miss,
That would-
that would
yeah.
miss the June event date.
That would, yeah, the second one, they wouldn't be able to do it.
Could the investment committee approve it?
Wait, how many did we need?
6.
We need,
Tuesday.
Can the investment committee meet?
I just, there, so happens there's enough board members there probably that, I wonder, that's, maybe it's just enough board members there, yeah, that's what I was.
Okay, let's back up. So we will be in the same position for the commemorative commission as well.
Yeah,
So those two, what's your bid? What's the bid?
they'll say technically for the MLK, we were able to just vote for it, even.
No, we wouldn't have enough.
If anybody's on the
wait,
commission,
who's on that one?
Deb is the chair.
Deb is.
Is anybody else on the commission?
Did you vote on that one, Ms. Deb?
I
You
know.
didn't vote on that, okay, I'm gonna change my notes to reflect that, I apologize, I didn't realize that, so I'll put 5-0.
But it's 5 enough? That's what you're saying, 5 isn't enough? Or it is, Chris?
Well, it's present and voting, but the problem is that puts you down to just 4, I believe, right?
It puts us down to 5.
No.
Puts you down to 5. Oh, I thought we had 2. I thought Miller and McKenzie both.
No, that's for.
That's what-
for
That's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, for reaching up there. Yeah, no, I mean, technically we can take a vote on it, it's present and voting, once you have a quorum, you can take a vote on it. If y'all are comfortable with doing 4, yeah.
Well, we were talking about the commission,
No,
so.
I know that, and that was fine.
It's even
Yeah,
less
so
than
that
That
was
was
fine.
fine,
That was
Okay.
only one member was recused.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But with
For this one,
two
too.
members recusing,
Mhm.
on the next one, that only leaves you.
That only leaves you 4. So, as long as y'all are comfortable with it, you technically can vote on it. Now you'll need 3 to pass it though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can make sure it's legal.
You're good. I'm fine with that.
I won't go out, man, no.
After all that good work.
Can we-
All right.
Can we have discussion or maybe
Yes.
it's a way, so do we wanna set a precedence cause the sponsorships are at 5,000,
Yes.
but we had discussed before that anything above that needs to go through the grant review process. Is that something we wanna set a precedence for, or?
I tend to agree when we step outside of kind of the protocols that we discussed, that we are setting a precedent, and it makes it challenging moving forward if someone else were to submit 2 requests within the same. What, did we do a grant? Did Carl get a grant from us?
No, not from task force.
Okay.
And I
They
guess,
have received
But they
funding through for different programs. They have received funding from the Office of Community Safety, which this pot money sits within, for other programs this fiscal year, but not specifically for these 2 programs. So I would also note, and I apologize, I have to say that here just a minute. I would also note, I think traditionally with sponsorships, we've tried to honor as close to the requested amount, but similar to other funding,
We can
you
count.
can assess against your budget and how you think funding should be dispersed, consider a different amount, you have it right. So I just wanted to highlight that before I had this stuff out, but.
Do we have anybody from the Urban League that can speak to, you know, the 25 laptops?
Dr. James is upstairs.
I mean, these are very tangible, like we can get 140 pairs of shoes needed, 25 laptops needed, get that. What I'm curious about is if we can't separate them based on, I see the event date of 6
Is the second one an actual event?
That's what I wanted to know.
Doesn't seem like.
Based on conversation and based on their application, it's when their series of events will start for their financial classes, the youth classes, and all the things. So they need to have it then in order to.
To start those classes.
I got
So, I wanna make it clear, I do not oppose this, and I just wanted to bring it up since we did, in the investment committee, did talk about it. I'm fine with the committee taking into account by each occasion, and I support that, but I just wanted to kind of, before we vote on these two, have that discussion.
That is a good catch.
It's a valid point.
Yes.
Personally.
So what, remind me, so when we look at, when we wanted to roll it to a grant, was it anything over 5,000?
That's what we discussed.
Okay, so we could counter 5,000, right, for them to use and split among shoes for schools and or laptops. And then, after July, I mean, they could put in another request, is that what you're saying?
Well, technically, this would be their 2 for this fiscal year. So
Oh.
they get 2 per fiscal year. They have it, these are their first 2 of this fiscal
Alright.
year. Now, last year, I mean, again, technically, we did Choose for School, we did, housing, we did scholarship.
And I
And I
agree.
think that was all the 3 we did, and they were the reason why we had to create the 2 per fiscal year. Because that was you know what I'm saying? So that's why we got, and these are their 2 for this fiscal year.
I know, well, as is, we haven't voted, but I support the sponsorship
The Choose for
as
Schools.
both of them. I personally do. I just wanted to say that I was bringing it up so we can have
Yeah,
discussion.
discussion.
I'm fine, and I support us bringing per occasion, looking at each sponsorship, and if we see there's a conflict or organization abusing, we can discuss at that point. I think I'm fine with supporting both of them as is.
I believe the second one speaks to each of our buckets. And again, for Shoes for School last year was amazing. A lot of people that were on the margins in our community that we were called to serve were able to come and get blessed for the entire school year. So I'm excited for that.
All right, then, all I need is, well, hold on. So, just to be clear, and just to make sure this is in our notes, we are agreeing to take, multiple requests on a case-by-case basis to see if it makes sense, if it aligns with our buckets. And so we're not gonna have the rule anymore about,
2.
uh,
I mean, that is the rule, and they're within the rule.
but what I'm saying, then at this point, then we couldn't do anything else this fiscal year.
No, not as far
But
as
it
sponsorships.
is in, but it is
no.
in June, right?
When the classes versus voice on this is gonna
I mean,
start
our
is
year,
June.
are we start
Oh,
our
yes,
year
ours
in
is
July,
June 30th,
okay, all right,
yeah.
so after
So they
that,
would-
then it's a short time,
They would
okay,
make it.
all right, I was just thinking, so we're not doing scholarships.
No, so maybe the answer would be no.
All right, so, I'm in agreement that both of these align with multiple buckets, actually, so if we could get a motion,
Motion.
that was almost a vote.
Sounds like it's gonna pass.
Yeah. All right, all in favor? All right, thank you.
Okay, perfect. All right, so Educator Resource Center you will note, we have seen this step before. This is the same program that we voted on for their last 5,000. They were sent in a second one. So the last 5,000 sponsored Green Elementary, their faculty to be able to bring their families can get food, tickets, and like rides or things like that for the event on May 24th at the World's Fair Park. The last school that's left is Sarah Moore Green. Nobody has picked them up yet, so he sent in a second sponsorship to hopefully be able to include them. They are the last school that is left for this event to be 100% funded.
I'm sorry, what's the name of the organization?
Educator Resource Center.
Educator Resource Center.
Yes, and this is for 5,000 as well.
Questions?
So the question I have is specifically for Ceremony Green, for them to be left out, all that they give to the community, just considering the test scores and the progress, and the future progress, taking into consideration, what does that mean for that institution, who's been a pillar in Knox County schools, to be left out?
No, we can't leave them out. I don't know if we as a body can, but they cannot be left out. There was a lot of work that went into securing funding for the other schools, and we're talking multiple schools. I think you can bring each teacher or staff member, not just a teacher, each staff member can have at least 4 people.
Yeah.
Everything is free. I think it is a great opportunity to celebrate our educators. So
And
I'm definitely, in favor, but they cannot be left out. So whatever we can do, I think it aligns with supporting educators. And what was the other school? Oh, we did Green.
We did Green Elementary,
Okay.
and so that is the last one. The last time he brought it to us, the last 3 schools that were left were Austin East Green and Ceremony Green. Somebody picked up Austin East, we picked up Green. Ceremony Green is the last one. They tried, based on the phone call, he tried for about another couple of weeks. Everybody kept saying he had tapped out of funding, and then he was like, but I read, you get 2, so you know.
Okay, here we
You
go.
get 2.
So I know, and it was interesting, like Fulton, and they have a very large staff. They got covered immediately,
Yeah.
Whittles, Belmor's, Spring Hill, Vine, so, I'll ask for a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Perfect, and our last one would be Real Talk Mentoring. They are an organization that we support normally through grant cycle. They did not get picked this year, but this is for their end of year banquet, which normally their grant funding would have done because it's for the programming, and at the end they throw the banquet and it's all included in their funding. But this year he's just asking for money for their end of the year banquet for the food, supplies. And they have a really nice speaker coming in. I think his name is, oh, his name isn't on here, but they have a really, really nice speaker coming in to be able to talk to the young attendees during it. And they do like I said, they do a class to help with their educational goals and to be able to kind of create a vision board together and graduate from their summer situation. So that's for $5,000. That's our last one.
And how many attendees did they give us? I'm looking now,
This one, he didn't say how many normally come, and I guess that depends on when they open their, yeah, he didn't say how many that normally come.
So
But if I look at their last year numbers for their grant from last year, they had about 110 kids that did their summer program.
is this for the summer program or is it for the Real Talk Mentoring that happens during the school year?
It's, yeah, that, and then it's their end of the year banquet.
Okay. So this
And
is
the
Swearingen,
date of
is
this-
it Swearingen?
Yes,
Oh, okay,
yes,
all right.
and the date of this one is the 21st. May 21st, yes.
Any other questions, discussion?
I recuse myself on the investment committee just because I serve as a mentor for this organization.
Okay. Move to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
So five.
I have a comment. So for some of these, we're asking these questions about the event because none of us have actually had an opportunity to participate. So I'd like to recommend maybe going forward that if any of us can attend, some of these events, I think that would be very beneficial because then we can address those questions that come from other members. We would know exactly if any of us have been to the end of the year event.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great event, here's how many people they usually have, it's this and that. And so I think that would be very helpful moving forward.
And just putting forth to the investment committee, while this isn't the same amount as our grants, just some consideration when they submit these sponsorship requests, that we factor in some accountability as well.
Fine ticket.
Well, just, you know, where some things aren't mandatory, I think that we should have a reasonable expectation of a report or a budget or something. You know, this is huge, but it's not itty bitty either, right? You know, when we're thinking of 5,000, yeah, or event report, something like that. Also similarly to what you were saying, Gwen, for the grants, we do go and do visits and we get to lay eyes on it, and so we really have a
And I
sense
feel
of.
like we go to each one of our grantees, one of their programming days. I put that on my, and I physically go and see what they do.
So something, I don't know what, but just.
The related request I was gonna ask too is if there were, it's not the case with these, there were one or two or less than a handful of organizations in the grant process where there was some sort of an issue, whether it was governance within the, that organization or their response. Like, I would just want y'all to flag any organizations that you wouldn't recommend we give money to if they've got an issue in one place. I can't imagine we'd feel comfortable giving them money in another place. So yeah, I'm not suggesting it's the case here, but kind of to your point, we got a lot of rigor in the grant process. Some of that would be useful here without overdoing it.
Possibly we can even consider adding, you know, if we do go and have pictures, we can, and they do submit something for their reporting, we can add that to the end.
Did you create another report then?
No, we want to add it, we want to add it.
Would love that.
And because you did mention, and I know you're running a summary of sponsorship requests so that we can keep tally of the total funding that is dispersed through the task force. So just add a section, I think, to this.
100%. And I can't even remember those numbers. We roughly have about.
But Stevie, may I ask, does that leave any money in this particular?
So technically, so this would be minus 30, and you guys have about 51 in your sponsorship bucket. So that leaves you still 21 before June 30 to be able to spend. Now we have about 7,500 pending from the last time we did sponsorships in our bid. So that's about the pot we have left after this round.
Okay. But the thing is, we don't have another meeting before this fiscal year, but I think we can go ahead and let investment, if something comes in of significance, we can agree. I don't know if it requires a vote.
I would delegate that
Okay,
authority
we
to
want to
them for
delegate
the-
anything from now to June to the
30th.
investment committee, all right. So, huh, I think we have to vote on it. Okay, so let's, what I'd like to, can I make the motion? Sure, okay. I'd like to make a motion that if we have a grant or a sponsorship request come in between now and the end of June, that is turned over to our investment committee for their decision.
That's second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect, thank you.
That's all I have.
All right, well, so, as mentioned earlier, we've had a long run, Ms. Deb, here with the task force since day one, and so it is time for us to nominate, a new chair. And so the term limits that will end, is actually in June, for Deb and myself, this upcoming June, so the new role would start in July. And I would like to nominate Pastor Vincent Jones to serve as chair. So I would like to make that nomination.
Definitely second that.
Y'all better hurry the vote. All in favor? All right. Also, we are working to find additional community members to serve as well. And when we find those members, I don't want you to think limited to the number of seats that we actually have on the task force, because now that we have these subcommittees, there are multiple opportunities for people who want to serve and to be involved, for them to join this work. But we are looking at that. Speaking of that, we make a note in our next subcommittee meeting to make that announcement as well. Because these are people that we know already that show up. I would also, that being said, we had a person prior to, when we had the last round, that we didn't have a seat for, but I would like to nominate Janae Peterson as a new African American Equity Restoration Task Force member. She, and I believe you've seen her bio, she is currently, I think she's in still urban leagues and young professionals, is that correct?
I think she's involved with them still, but she's not the president anymore.
She's not the president
Yeah.
anymore, all right.
She definitely AAB.
Yeah, maybe I should make that nomination. Okay, I'll let somebody else do that.
Well, I'll make the nomination.
And I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
They're like how we have to do it fast, so the person walks in.
Right. No, just in previous conversations with her, and we do have an opportunity to work together at KUB. She has a very strategic and intentional mind and a deep care and concern for those we serve, so I think she will be a great asset.
I believe, Ms. Deb, are you serving as our vice chair at the moment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we probably also want to
Nominate a vice chair. Well. Look at that at your paper. I think. We could
I'd
do
like to
it.
nominate.
A second.
All in favor?
Congratulations to our new.
Congratulations.
When we're looking for, thinking of additional nominations, do y'all have a perspective on what kind of expertise we might need if there's nothing immediately comes to my mind, but curious. It's a lot easier maybe to think of names when we think of, hey, we need somebody that.
Well, with like healthcare and our small businesses, we're,
Healthcare, small business.
And they kind of helps the education, youth, the kind of young adult perspective we thought we might want on the task force. But the other piece, so yes, the healthcare, the small business development, someone in marketing and communications, I think. Really to help us, because we talk about how to get the word out. We have ideas, we just haven't been able to push the button to get some of these things out. And we made some motion with the Iraq cards and really showing up at community events and being more present, but somebody who can really give us some expertise in that might be great.
Maybe from one of the communication firms.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, can I jump in? This is another announcement I forgot about. Tomorrow, April the 14th, and I'm really excited because it is a business that's in the Knoxville community. So it's the grand opening celebration for Rosarita's Mexican Cantina, Magnolia. It's where it's next to McDonald's. It used to be. It's been everything. I think it started.
What's the name of it?
Rosarita's. Yep, that's what I thought. Keith Foster was here, and I think Keith may be a kind of part owner. He became black in this. And so it starts at 10 o'clock. Yep. And they do have frozen mango margaritas.
We can't have that. We can't have that.
10 o'clock in the morning.
You talking about pastors
It's
here.
probably
All right.
And just one quick announcement, the street closures have begun in Burlington. So at Oakland and Kirkwood, I was trying to say Kirkwood, but Kirkwood, Fern is gonna remain open, but you'll only be able to turn to the right if you're going up to MLK. So it's gonna be closed between MLK and Lakeside, so you'll be able to use Lakeside, the street that New Direction is on. but the in-between, you will not be able to get through, even through Fern Street. So all that's closed due to the streetscape project that has begun. And so that will take place for at least 4 months. And then after that, it's gonna continue, so it'll probably be going on for another.
But that's good news, that's all news, yeah.
It's long overdue.
Long overdue. We've been doing this for about, what, how many years now?
What you're talking about, for at least 16 or 17.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, let me see what else.
That's it.
So we do have a couple of people signed up to speak. Keith Foster was one, I don't see him here, but Ingrid. Yep, no, okay, that's okay, all right, that's okay. But thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Any final announcements before we close out? I'm just like heart beating fast, like I'm like officially gonna close out. I should have brought up a time.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank
We
you,
appreciate it.
ladies.
Thank you.
Let's get well.
Absolutely.
Hopefully the men can, rise to the occasion.
We're going to still offer some support on the side. As needed. Yes. But thank y'all, so we will officially adjourn this meeting.